What's up, you bad motherfucker? Welcome back to a dreary day of the Double Lung Pod. We got the Guillotine, Daddy Rambo, and joining us back by popular demand, the Hyman Smasher, Ryan Maitland.
Good to have you back, brother. Good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
In studio.
And it was a cold, wet bitch out there. I don't always wear size medium shirts, but
Medium.
it's medium. This might even be a small because it's damn near a belly shirt.
It looks like a child's medium.
I'm moist in more ways than one over here.
Yeah, well, yeah. It does the job.
Yeah.
My shirt sleeves were like soaked all the way to the elbow. So
Yeah, it's pissing rain out right now.
pissing ain't the word. It was pouring.
Yeah, it's coming down.
Yeah, and we were out there for what? What time is it now? 4 hours.
We were out there 4 hours.
Nah, we didn't get there till 1. So
Yeah,
3
hours.
No.
No.
It just got worse and worse and worse.
Yes. Started out like snowish, and then here come the rain.
Sam just gave me I've got like a concoction of these vape things here that I'm just trying out.
It's getting all the popcorn lungs. Is that what they call it with vaping?
Yeah, Sam will give them to me, and I just give them away because I'll smoke them if they're in front of me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't do this. This is, I'll give them to my mom. Sorry, Ma. I love you. Yeah. But anyway, we did a little deer driving today, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Ryan, we want to hear about what's going on, man. How's your season going? We haven't had you on here.
I haven't been on since
Sicka.
Yeah, since Sicka.
Oh.
So last time I was on here was right before I harvested my small hind. Outside of that, I mean, hunted hard. Probably hunted way more than I did last year, but I've had more success, I'd say. I've got
I'd say so.
I've
Oh,
got 6 deer down so far on the year.
Let's fucking go.
I harvested a small buck in November. It was actually like a pretty big bodied 5-point buck. It was probably a 2.5-year-old buck, but I got like 20 pounds of burger from him, so I was all about it.
Hey, we don't discriminate anymore.
No.
Yeah, he came in. I was waiting on a big buck, and I was hunting a different property I actually hadn't hunted during the rut. And he came in and was 6 yards quartering away, and just had to let him have it. First shot with the Grim Reaper.
Oh yeah,
And they live up to the name.
yes sir.
Watch him drop. Since then, I went to West Virginia, did some rifle hunting with my brother, and that was an experience all in itself. And then since then, I've shot a couple does, shot a button buck in the ass,
Fuck yeah.
and here I am.
Hell
That's
yeah.
my season.
So that button buck in the ass, you hit the femoral artery, huh?
Oh yeah, yep. I shot, and man, it was like the property I have. The guys they bought the property to ride ATVs on it. So these 3 deer came coming in, and I was not expecting to see any deer. So I'm sitting there, and it's probably like 8 in the morning, and the first one comes out, and I feel like whitetail, they're like sacrificial. They send the smallest one out first.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, the first one came out and it was tiny. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to shoot that. I see 2 more coming. My wind's good. And then another one comes out and I'm like, damn, dude, that one's just as small. And then the third one comes out. I'm like, third one's going to be like a nice doe or something. Third one comes out, smallest of the group.
Yes.
So I got my brother. He's in town. And I was like, shit, I wanted to get him some meat regardless. So I was like, I just got to shoot this deer. Went to go shoot, or drew back. It was at 20 yards. Pretty hard quartering away, but I felt at 20 yards I could just slip it in there. And I was wrong. And I shot it. And I guess it either turned or was just a bad shot at my end. And it shot right in the ass. Like right on the side of its butt cheek. And I was just like, okay. So I got this deer running off with an arrow just barely sticking out of its ass. It's got a green lighted knock. It's right around Christmas time. I was like, this guy's going to take his kids to ATV ride. They're going to see a deer running around like the anti-Rudolph, a green lighted knock out of its ass. So I'm sitting here thinking about explaining. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to go back to public land next year. And then
I'm kick him off this property.
I was like, God, I ruined it all. And I look over, I'm looking like 30 minutes later, and I see like a little white thing. And I'm like, is that a piece of trash over there? And I was like, no shit. That was the deer. I climbed down, confirmed it was a button buck. That thing went 15 yards, maybe. But the crazy part was there was zero blood. Arrow was still stuck in the deer, zero blood.
Wow. That
Yeah.
femoral artery is a guaranteed death. Like that will kill deer quick.
There was in our first years of hard bow hunting, we shot a lot of deer in the hips, and they all died.
Yeah, I think I've killed 2 deer like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that same year you killed 2. The same
Just
way.
like it,
Yeah.
I had like a little spike right under me, and I shot him. I tried to aim for his spine and between his shoulder blades. Somehow hit him in the hip.
Yeah.
Died.
Yeah. It works. It's an effective shot. I mean, I don't think anybody ever tries to do it.
No.
But it happens, and when it does, it's always surprising at how quickly they die.
Yeah, I mean, that's a large blood supply right there.
Yeah.
You take that out, I mean, that thing's going to bleed out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cutting a garden hose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Texas heart shot. You guys ever do that?
Never done that.
No, but I'm intrigued by the idea.
Yeah. I shot a deer one time here, and it went out its back leg. Yeah.
Really?
Not, asshole, but like close to
I
it.
bet that thing was a mess gutting.
Oh, dude, that deer ran 10 yards, flopped, like spun around on the ground, and like blood was just like it was like a
Kaiser.
like a fucking sprinkler.
Faithful.
It was wild, dude.
Was that the one that you shot out in that field?
Yep.
Oh,
It was like
yeah.
a 60-yard shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was my farthest shot ever with a bow. That was cool shit.
Just watching that arrow.
Yep. And it hit like high, like right in between like the neck and the shoulder blade, and went out like back ass cheek.
So you probably got jugular
Went through
and
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably top of the lungs, jugular, and then everything inside.
And then you're just gagging when you're gutting it.
Yeah, just. Well, so last night I went out.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 3-day rifle, and took the 30-aught and climbed down. I went down into like a bottom, which, with a bow, I hate doing. I almost don't do it at all unless I really don't do it because the wind swirls down there, but with a rifle, I'm like, by the time they win me, they're fucking dead. You know what I mean? Like, I'm shooting anything under 200, so.
You can see really far down that bottom.
Yes. Yeah, I more than 200 yards in several directions. So, like, I could shoot a deer up on the other side of the ravine that's 200 yards away and eye level with me, even though I was 4 moves up. So I was high, you know what I mean? Higher than Willie Nelson. And, almost just died. And, so I got down there, man, and it was a beautiful evening. It got cold pretty quick. It was down in the lower 30s, and I wasn't seeing fuck all, no motion. It started to get pretty dark. It was probably about 20 minutes into. I had about 10 minutes of light left.
Ooh.
And I was like, man, I might be about to get fucking skunked. And off in the distance, I see antlers, big ones, and I'm like, oh shit! And I grab my rifle and I like get it ready and I'm looking and I'm waiting just to see, like, because it went behind some like trees, and I watched it for like 5 minutes, man, nothing. I'm like, fuck. And then all of a sudden, to my left, I hear movement. So I turn over and I see a couple does coming down out of this bedding area. Mm-hmm. And they come in and they're pretty close, like 50 yards, but I got no shot, and they win me. And she takes off and runs behind me. And so I spin around to my other side, and she gets completely around me to my right side now. And she stops, and I fucking drilled her, just let her have it. She dropped on the spot, got back up, ran a little bit. I could see the blood pouring out of her, and like went down to the creek, further down this super steep hill.
Of course.
So I'm like, this is gonna suck. And she piles up in the creek. I look behind me, and her fawn's standing there.
Yeah.
At about like 40 yards. And I just shot that deer. That was my 9th deer of the season. Tied my previous record for kills in 1 year. And I'm just looking at this little 10.
It's just blinking at you. You got a 10 on its side.
Yeah, it's just got 10. And I'm just like, fuck. So I'm like, well, so I spun around completely to the other side, and I'm like all fucked up in my saddle, like moving all over the place. Just like, if she's gonna just stand there, I need to do doe patrol anyway. This will be a 10 for the season. I fucking let her have it, dude. And she dropped. I mean, I shot that doe, and she literally did not move. I shot her and she dropped, fell right where she was.
Nice.
Like right through the heart. And so I was like, okay, this is gonna suck because it's a hell of a hill.
And 2 deer.
And 2 deer. Yeah. So that was fucking awesome. I put my stuff, rappel out of the tree like fucking Mission Impossible Tom Cruise.
So much fun.
I fucking love it, especially when you're high. You know what I was thinking about? As I got really high up there, I was like, another like thing that's really cool about saddle hunting. If you get really high in a climber, it takes a while to get down.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how high you get in a saddle. It's still zip. If you're rappelling down, it's still seconds.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's cool. So I rappelled down, I flicked the headlamp on, and I went up and I was like, I'm gonna get this little one, carry her to the field edge, drop all my gear, and then go back and get the big one. So that's what I did. I carried that little one out with one hand.
You held her up and her back legs came to your armpit, right? Is that small?
Nah, she was, at this time of the year,
Yeah.
like a fawn is actually a pretty decent size.
60-ish pounds.
Yeah, 60, 70 pounds, I'd say. Yeah. I mean, bigger than a Sika. So
Yeah.
she was decent size. I'll get a good bit of meat out of her, and she will taste delicious.
Good young ones do.
Yeah. And so I took her to the field edge, dropped all my gear, went back down, and the first fawn, when I shot her, I paunched her on the exit because she was standing like 1/4 and so that kind of sucked. So that made me think of this when you were talking about but she's in the creek, so I'm like washing her out with creek water,
okay.
so just introducing extra parasites,
Oh yeah.
It's running water, it was clean, whatever. Gutted her, man. I'll tell you what, dude, getting her out of that creek bottom, that was a heavy bitch.
Oh yeah.
It was a big doe. It was as big as that other one. I mean, It was a nice sized doe. I'll send you pictures when I butcher them.
Some hefty broads over there, bro.
There's a lot of does.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, you know what? I killed a couple does here this year. I've killed 5 does there this year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it's got to help a little. I wish we killed 10, 15, but
It won't help because every
5
doe
is,
left is gonna
they're all
sprout out
gonna have
2.
2. Yeah. I know. It's like an endless battle with them.
It's a good thing to have. Good problem to have.
Yeah, it's one of the things. It's like, oh, I got a bunch of does. It's like, you need some help. You know what I mean? Like, which next year I think, and you've been mentioning it, like you're gonna hunt there more, and
Yeah.
we're gonna put the work in on some does next year, dude.
It's just so easy to get off of work and scoot
Yeah.
300 yards to the woods.
Well, but you could go on weekends to Port.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
I think I might finish the season at Port.
Yeah.
I think I've blown the quarry up.
On Port ain't gonna be much better for that, but
Corn pile.
you'll see them. Corn pile. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Did anybody go this morning? No.
No.
I went this morning over a corn pile at the quarry. I got out there way too early. I got in the stand at like 5:45. Really early. And just kind of sitting there, and it's like 6:30. I see a black mass come strolling by. I don't even know what the fuck it was. Couldn't have shot if I wanted to. And then probably like 7:30, a little fawn came to the corn pile, and I was like, I don't want to shoot that fucking thing. $80 for 20 pounds of meat. Nah.
Yeah.
That's all I saw. Until the night.
Yeah.
Pretty uneventful hunt this morning. Sucked, but oh well.
Yep. Wasn't much better this evening.
Nah.
I'm curious. Were those the first 2 deer you've shot with a rifle out of the saddle?
Yes.
How do you feel about hunting with a firearm out of the saddle compared to a bow?
It's harder.
Really?
Yeah, I wish. So I don't have a sling on my rifle, so that would be convenient if I didn't have to hold the fucking thing the whole time. You know what I mean? I just sit it on my bridge and kind of like rest my arms on it on either side of it. But it's not. It's definitely not ideal for like holding it. If it had a sling, I could hang it up like I would my bow. But the thing with a rifle and a saddle is, it's like it's kind of cumbersome up there. You know what I mean? Compared to like a climber, I feel like a climber is better for a rifle. Personally, I think the saddle is totally doable, and it still has all the benefits of a saddle, but it's just like unless they're right in front of you, you've got nothing to like brace your rifle on. You're basically shooting standing. You know what I mean? Now, if they're right in front of you, you got the tree. That's great.
Yeah.
You know?
Could you like swing around and use your tether as like a steadier?
Yes, I did. And so like I did that a little bit. I used my bridge to like rest my elbow on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's not bad. It's really not. It's totally doable. So it's a little different.
But definitely get a sling.
Yeah, I would get a sling. That's what I need to do for next year. Like I'm not gonna go get a climber just for rifle. Like
no.
it does just fine.
Disgusting. Don't even think about that.
Above that now, just raise my nose up at them.
Exactly. Scumbags.
Yeah, that's my evaluation of saddle hunting with a rifle. It's very doable.
Yeah, my questions were like, if you're hunting with a rifle, I feel like you want a little bit more stability, with like to be like in a fixed place a little bit more. I just feel like that would help with your shot. With like a bow, I don't know, it just feels more natural to be able to like put your knee into the tree and kind of swivel around. Like you don't need as much support, but when you really want to steady that rifle and you're really trying for like true marksmanship for like a 200-yard shot, I would rather have as much contact area as possible.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
absolutely. Yep. And with the bow, when you're at full draw, it kind of like balances you out. You know what I mean? As to with a rifle, it's just like you're kind of like swaying.
Yeah.
It's not as good. I think a climber is better for a rifle.
Yeah, with a bow, I think a saddle for most shots is more natural. I think it's closer replicates for me standing in the backyard and shooting. There is like obviously some tricky shots, but I think the bow is better. But I think the rifle is just a little bit different.
I agree. Yeah.
Just like I'd rather hunt with a crossbow. Not that I have a crossbow, but if I were a crossbow hunter, I probably wouldn't recommend the saddle.
Yeah, I agree. Have you killed anything with a rifle in the saddle yet?
I have never even rifle hunted out of my saddle yet.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, it's just a little different.
Yeah, I've seen
Stand
like,
up over there.
you see.
my back's killing me.
I've seen like a bunch of videos. Like I know like Trophy Line puts out videos, and they're like how to rifle hunt out of your saddle, how to do this. Like I've even seen how to turkey hunt out of your saddle. But I think I really think some of it's just I think some of it's just the companies trying to like appeal, be like, I can get this one piece of equipment for everything. And I'm not saying like you killed a doe with your saddle, the rifle.
2 does.
2 does. Yeah, I'm sorry. But I do think the saddle is a more specialized piece of equipment for compound bow hunting or traditional archery.
I agree. But let's like I dropped those deer off to Kevin Dvorak. Shout out, my boy. And he said the same thing. He's like, he's like, I'm surprised you didn't bow hunt them. And I was like, yeah. I was like, well, I was like, dude, I am through and through a bow hunter. But when in Rome, man, it's rifle season. I do enjoy rifle too, But for us, and I think I can definitely speak for John, is like, I'm a bow hunter. Like that's what I love. You know what I mean? So to me, having a specialized piece of equipment specifically for bow hunting, I mean, let's be realistic. How many weeks out of the year do we bow hunt? Fucking 30. You know what I mean? How many weeks out of the year do you rifle hunt? 3. Like it's just having that specialized piece of equipment is perfectly fine with me. You know what I mean? And if I want to rifle hunt, I can rifle hunt in the saddle, or I can rifle hunt on the ground. I mean, it's cool. I'm good. I'm totally good with getting rid of my climber. Like I don't regret selling it. But I do think if you're just a rifle and a crossbow guy, stick with a climber. I think that's the move.
Like a Summit Viper or something simple like that.
Yep.
I mean, you see these new climbers coming out by Lone Wolf, and XOP's got a new one coming out. And dude, the Lone Wolf climber is $1,000.
What? Does it suck you off?
$1,000.
What the hell?
And it looks like it's like the same thing as the previous climber. It doesn't go around limbs. It's just like specialized foot plates, and it's got a bow hanger in there. But $1,000.
Is it like a leveler too?
A fucking turret?
I don't know if it does. I can't speak on that.
Okay.
But it's not that different than their old like.
It's the price of a good rifle.
Yeah. The fuck.
What are they called? The sit and climbs? Was it the sit and climb?
Sit and climb, yeah.
It's like the same
Hand
thing,
climber.
just new.
Jesus, I'm gonna have to look into that just so I can bash it.
Yeah.
$1,000, and then XOP's got another one coming out, which is like the same concept. I mean, you can still get a Summit Viper. Is what, $350?
$350. Yeah.
God. I was telling we were hunting Blackwater, and I was telling both you guys, and I love the saddle, but like I think it is a specialized piece of equipment, and I think if you're a hunter who hunts, I'll say under 10 days total a year, I think climber's probably better for you.
Oh, no doubt.
I think
No
the
fucking
saddle's
doubt.
got, like I said, it's a specialized piece of equipment, so.
I think a saddle is like, it is not for the hobbyist hunter.
No, if you're a weekend warrior, don't.
Buy a saddle.
No.
It's going to be so complicated initially, and you're not going to get the reps in that you really need. Like, honestly, it takes like 15 hunts to get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So if you're only doing that a year, like, don't waste your time.
I see a lot of guys selling them on Facebook, and I wonder if they are the weekend warrior, and they just bought it just because they saw all the hype around it.
Hunt 10 times a year, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, it's not for you. If that's you, it's not for you. Get a climber. Get a good climber. There's nothing wrong with climbers.
No, I don't know.
I mean, we talk shit on them, but that's just because we're fucking assholes. That's what we do.
Yeah.
But it's like, for the extremely, if you are an extremely avid bow hunter and you like to be mobile and you hunt often, saddle is the way to go.
Yes.
And that I just described us, so it suits our needs.
Yep.
My buddy's got a Novix. Is that the brand Novix? Lightweight, mobile, public land tree stand. It's just a hang-on. It's just a hang-on, and he took it out and he's got his sticks and he's got it, and I just grabbed it. I was like, no shot am I carrying this thing into the friggin' woods. It's just like a giant piece of metal. So I was like,
No.
this is not the way to go. Like we were hiked in like 2 miles in public land to get to our spot, and I was like, dude, I'm just freaking chilling.
I'm going for a Sunday stroll here, and you're fucking dragging this fucking
And then
meat locker behind you.
He's got to climb all the way up the tree, and then he's got to pull the hang on up. And I'm like, that can't be quiet. Then he's got to cam strap the hang on. Then he's got to pull his bow up.
Yeah.
I was like, nah.
Dude, that's how me and my dad did it forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Took a lock on in. Every time with screw in steps. Wasn't the most legal thing, but every time we'd screw in a step, and hang the fucking lock on.
That's
Every
unreal.
time.
Fuck that. They're a pain in the ass.
My dad was quick with it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a
well-oiled
professional.
machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the same thing I feel about the Ozonics. How do you feel about it? But this was my evaluation was, if I was a guy that sat in hang on or any stand, like I would repeat sit that stand, or I had pre-hung sits. I think the Ozonics is a viable resource. I think it works to an extent. It's not foolproof, but I think it definitely helps. Mm-hmm. But as a mobile hunter like myself, like, dude, I don't think I hunted the same tree twice this year at all. I don't. There's spots. I don't even think I hunted the same spot twice. Maybe one or two. So to carry that Ozonics in, it's like my whole setup, everything that I've put together, my system, if you will, has been designed around being lightweight and like streamlined.
Yeah.
So to add like this other piece of equipment and to put it in a fanny pack and like it's to me it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'll just play the wind. Like I'd rather not have that extra weight and extra stuff banging around, extra noise being made when I'm screwing it in and hanging it up, and like I think they work. I do. I don't think they're foolproof, but for my style of hunting, it's too much.
Yeah. I used one for a little while this year, and I am actually a believer in the Ozonics. Now, that being said, I'm not going to carry one on me for the exact reasons that Seth talked about. It's just it defeats the point of being a mobile hunter, especially like if you're going from spot to spot, which I also do. Like I might jump to multiple spots within the same general area. And where I'm at, the wind's pretty consistent because it's so flat, unless I get into a really open area. Just playing the wind, because you don't know, they can come from anywhere. But what I do think the Ozonics has a direct benefit is if you are a ladder stand guy or whatever, and you hunt corn piles.
Yeah.
Because if you hunt corn piles, those bucks will almost always approach that corn pile from downwind. And I've hunted corn piles this year, 4 big bucks. And I had one really nice buck, and I had 2 encounters with him. Both times came in straight downwind to me.
Oh, yeah.
And both times I had the Ozonics on, and it was like he didn't even care.
That's wild.
Dead downwind. I'm talking wind in his face. So for that reason, I'm like, okay, there's something to this. Now, I was telling Seth on the phone once. I was like, I don't think it makes or breaks you. Like, I wouldn't play a bad wind and be like, oh, I got no Xonics.
Yeah.
But if you have a little bit of swirl, there's a little bit of variability, or it's like one of those winds that's like almost bad, but it's good, then I think it can give you that extra 10, 15%. But one thing I hated that freaking screw-on thing. That little tiny thing they give you. Dude, that thing, I could not get that thing to bite into a tree to save my life.
Yeah.
That thing sucks. I just would, I wasn't the best way. I would take my backpack and I would put a zip tie. And I zip tied it to my backpack. I like configured a way to do it.
Good,
I was like, man, I'm not messing with that.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah,
But then every time I'd get up to the top of my tree, cause the zip ties, I'd have to do it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. It's a good piece of equipment. It's just not for me, you know.
Yeah.
I meant to give that back to Kevin. Actually, I forgot.
Has he not been hunting?
No.
Cause that guy said he wouldn't even go in the woods without it.
Yeah, he has a lot. He's doing a whole bunch of work, and we'll get into it. He might come next weekend.
Okay.
But he's been doing a whole bunch of work on the homestead, and he just hasn't had time. He said he's killed a dozen deer this year. So
Well, fuck. Well, he's usually fucking 20.
yeah, he's usually way up there. But he's like, he's not even going out this weekend. He's trying to finish up his work at the house. So he's like, next year's gonna be my year.
He kills 40 deer.
Yeah, 45 deer next year. Yeah, he's gonna tag out.
Yeah, that would be a hell of an accomplishment.
Sheesh.
He's tagged out before.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
45 deer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 36, 34, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
That's so many deer.
Yeah.
How do you do that? I feel like the stars, the biggest thing is during rifle. Like during archery, you can for sure tag out. But during rifle and muzzleloader, they're so short seasoned. I feel like you really have to have the stars on.
He'll take off the whole week of rifle and hunting every day.
What about muzzleloader?
He'll take off a week for that too.
No shit.
Yeah. Yep. He said he killed 4 deer with a muzzleloader in one sit.
A muzzleloader?
Yep. Yeah. Dude, he's a bad motherfucker, dude. You gotta give Kevin give credit where credit's due. And he's got a lot of spots set up. He's got a lot of properties he can hunt, and he's fanatical about it, dude.
How many spots do you think he's got? Because like I've baited like 2 or 3 different spots this year, and it is a pain in the ass.
Yes, it is.
Dude,
he got a monitor and like
his Sundays, he loads up his gator with like 1,000 pounds of corn, and he drives from spot to spot, dumps corn, checks cameras. That's his Sunday. So he's prepping, like he's on it, dude. He don't fuck around.
I'd love to know his corn bill.
Well, I know some guys. Like I know Will Bratton. He buys corn in bulk.
Yeah, Kevin does too.
Yeah, so he doesn't buy like by the bag. He buys and he bags it himself.
Dude, buying it by the bag, that'll break your ass.
Oh yeah, dude. You're talking now. Prices of corn are fucking outrageous. What ain't though?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a spot in Galena. You can get $7 for 50 pounds.
Okay.
I went there.
Might be
I
worth
was helping my grandparents out with some stuff earlier this summer, and I put 700 pounds of corn
in your fucking Mazda?
in my Mazda.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, that thing, I took any turn, I'm like, this might be it.
It ain't had that much weight in it since you're them big girls in college, huh?
I had all the seats down. I have just that thing loaded up.
Yeah, it brings back old memories. He's like, this thing ain't squatted since that one night.
But if you're buying corn from like Walmart to bait,
Oh, God. Don't do it. Find a local farmer.
Yes.
Save yourself a few dollars.
there's plenty of them out there.
Yeah. Well, it depends on where you're at.
That's true.
I guess if you're hunting in Baltimore County, you might not have a whole lot nearby.
But fuck, man, what is it, 13 or 14 bucks for a 35-pound bag?
Yeah.
Insane.
And then they put out that like apple flavored corn.
Yeah, what a waste.
That is such BS.
I'm sorry, but every like deer attractant is bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what attracts deer? Corn.
Yeah.
What do you?
Corn does just fine.
So this is a question I have, and I know Runsky talked about it years ago.
Yeah.
So I actually tried
Buck bourbon?
the Buck Bourbon. So this was what happened. My brother was coming uptown. I had 2 corn piles baited. Baited them. I was like, I'm baiting them ahead of time. I was like, I can just put more corn out if they're hitting it hard. I put out corn like a week and a half early, and it was like 4 days before he came, and I didn't have a single picture.
Oof.
And I'm like, I know this is where deer are moving. And I went out that day. It was on sale at Walmart. I was like, I'm just going to try this as a Hail Mary. I bought 2 bags of Buck Bourbon. It was like $12 for both of them. About $6 a bag. Ain't that bad.
Okay. Well, yeah, how much do you get, though?
I'm not really sure.
10-pound
But
bag,
I just
right?
poured it on top of the corn.
Yeah.
I had pictures that night.
No shit.
Okay.
I was like,
Okay,
I
I'll
don't
eat my
know.
words.
I was like, I don't know if it's a coincidence. Like, very well might have been, but on both piles that night had pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're gonna break yourself if you're only baiting with that.
No, you'd have to put it on top
It's
of
a
your corn.
Yeah,
supplement.
it's an attractant.
But
Yeah.
that was literally, I just threw the Hail Mary up. I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know if this is going to work, but
Shout
I
out
saw
Jeremy
it, and I was
Runsky.
like, Runsky saw it.
Okay.
Runsky swore by it.
He
I was
did?
like, I'm going to
Yeah.
go by it.
And every time you hunted over it, you got one. So
So, I mean, hey, well, I guess I'll eat my words.
That's
I'm
what I
wrong.
read
still not
on
buying
there. They were
I'm
like,
still not buying it.
yeah, that's what I read on there. It was like, apparently super has like a smell that pulls the deer. And I'm like, I know the deer move here. I just need them to know the corn is here.
okay. It's got like molasses and shit in it, I guess.
Something like that. It smells super sweet and strong.
Corn works. I just, I think. I mean, maybe that helps, but I don't know. It's extra money. I'm not.
If my brother wasn't coming in town, I wouldn't have messed with it. But it was, like I said, a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Well, shout out Jeremy.
And then he didn't see a deer at all.
Yeah.
The whole day we sat, he didn't see a single deer. The next morning, I kid you not, I had 12 deer on my corn pile.
It's like that.
Yep.
It's deer hunting.
12 deer. It was like an army.
Did you send him a picture?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He sent me a meme of somebody killing themselves.
He didn't get any this year, did he?
No, it was a rough year.
That sucks.
I'll tell you what, West Virginia was different.
Yeah. What's your evaluation of? I wish I would have got to go, but what's your evaluation of the West Virginia mountains?
I think where we hunted was not very good because the place is a gas company that owns it, so that they can have, I guess I don't know, it's probably get some sort of tax benefit. So it's a tax company that owns it. There's a bunch of like gas tanks and lines, I'm assuming, running through, but it's a massive property. But they open it up to the public for hunting. But because it's an active, I don't know if you call it a refinery. It's something, but it's people actively use it. There's roads throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
You can get anywhere you want on a road. Because of that, it's super accessible.
Oh, yeah.
And I learned that there's many different styles of hunting, and no one uses a tree stand up there. And also no one sits in a spot and hunts.
Just walk.
People just walk the road, look over, keep walking. Walk the road, look over, keep walking. I mean, we heard shots, but dude, I saw so many guys wearing just like an orange vest and blue jeans that are just, they're going in like, and it's just, it was honestly insane because we'd go there in the morning before dark. I'm hunting them like I would bow hunt deer.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd get there and I'd be there. I'm like, Eric, we gotta get to this spot an hour before first light. We're gonna set up. We'd be the only ones in the parking lot.
Wow.
We'd go out for lunch and there'd be 15 trucks. And so no one got there on time. And then also we would stay until last light.
Yeah.
We'd stay until legal shooting light was over and then hike our way back. We were the last ones there every single time. And I'm like, I think there's deer in there. I think the deer density is very low. I don't think that there is a lot of deer, but we saw one guy pull out easily 130-inch buck.
Whoa.
It was a nice buck. Only deer we saw. And a lot of turkeys. But I think the deer density is low, but I think I was hunting them wrong. I'm hunting like sign.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, this is where they're moving. They're moving on this bench or like this saddle. And I'm like, dude, when people are moving around everywhere, it just doesn't work.
No,
It's
you
like,
can't pattern them.
how we hunted today is how me and my brother should have hunted them. But I knew going in it was a learning curve. So where we're actually going to go next year is a neighboring forest that is not as accessible.
Okay.
So it's got a higher bear density, which is cool. And then it's just, I looked at it online, and it's kind of like a Fair Hill-esque place. Like it's like just a park. But it's just as big, and there's no like roads for trucks to go on. So I'm trying to help weed out some of the other hunters.
Are you still gonna try hunting out of a tree, or you're gonna try like?
We didn't hunt our tree at all.
Okay.
No, but I would like, because there's so many switchbacks.
Yeah.
You could just get up on a hillside and just put your back up to a tree.
What a wild way to hunt.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be into that.
No.
Not as much.
I mean, if that's the way of life.
Either way. If you don't know any different, that's where you grew up. And,
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I'm sure it's fun, but it'd be a totally different experience. I might be into that because at least you're mobile. You know, that's the one thing I don't like about hunting out of a tree is having to sit still. You know what I mean? It is nice being able to move, but at the same time, man, I was thinking about this, like the woods, and my buddy Grant, his wife was talking to me about this. Ran into her at YMCA in the summer, and we were talking about it, and she was like, he took her hunting, and they sat in a blind, and he was like telling her about like it's different when you're up in a tree. It's like it's just better. It's more beautiful. It's like, and I never really considered that, but he's absolutely right. Like when I sit in a blind, like it's just not as, I don't feel like I'm one with the wild as much. Like, dude, I climb up in a tree and I can just see the fucking sun setting, and it's beautiful. I'm just up above this beautiful creation that is the woods, and like it just I love that. You know what I mean? I love being in that elevated position as a like a predator. I feel like a fucking hawk or something up there, dude. You know what I mean? Like it's to me it's better. I love that.
Yeah.
I enjoy it at times. But I really wish, like, I had a lot of fun this year. It was like pouring rain just like it was today. I went to one of my properties, and I just hunted on the ground. Yeah. And I had like a button buck come into 15 yards. I was full draw on it. Just didn't want to shoot a button buck, but I wanted to just see if I could do it. But just moving through the forest and trying to be the fox rather than the tree, it was just cool to be able to do that. So like sometimes I was telling John today, sometimes it's like towards the end of the year, I just get tired of sitting in a tree, and I'm like, I wish there was a balance. Like sometimes I want to sit in a tree and I want to be patient. Like during the rut, I want to be patient. I want to. But other times I'm like, dude, I'm just sitting here freaking sitting and waiting. And I'm like, I'm just so because I'm very ADHD, so I like to what we did today was a blast.
Yeah.
Shitty weather, God.
But yeah, but over there, like it's just I think it'd be fun to like hunt the different style.
Yeah.
Like do a little bit more active, which you can do with a rifle.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try that. We're gonna try that next year. But what made me think was, I really want to give turkey hunting a shot this year.
Okay.
Like, cause how many turkeys we saw, and I was like, man, this is the exact style hunting like I want to do. Like, one thing I love about cicadee is they call.
Oh yeah.
And like with the turkeys, I'm like, man, you can call to them, but then you can cut the distance a little bit. And I was like, I don't know how fun it'll be around here, but in those mountains, I'm like, I bet it is awesome.
I'm giving up on turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Done with it.
I'll give it the old college try again. You know, I mean,
I probably won't.
it's just like, fuck them turkeys.
It's just ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Especially where I go, I gotta do it with a bow, and you gotta. I mean, but you gotta sit in a blind.
Yeah.
Because they got some eyesight on them.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, we could do it at Port.
We could. We could.
I mean, I've seen a lot of turkeys there, so, and we could just play it a little different.
Yeah.
We should go. I mean, shit, I turkey hunted last year and I seen one.
That's true.
Yeah, I didn't get a shot on them, but I almost did.
There's something so strange about getting up at like 5 in the morning in the spring.
Yeah.
To go hunting.
So what the fuck
But
am I doing there?
It's back from what I've read. Like, you don't even have to do that unless you want to kill them off the roost.
Yeah.
You can get in the woods at 9 a.m.
Yeah, if you find them on the roost, then you want to get in there early. But if you're just running and gunning, get in there and sun up.
Certain things, like what I really liked about today's hunt was like working together.
Yeah.
Being collaborative. Be like, hey, man, I'm going to go over here. You go over here. You're going to walk up. You know, with deer hunting, it's like, all right, man, I'm going to go in this area. You go over there. I'll see you in 5 hours. Good luck.
Yeah.
But I enjoy that. I think I'm going to enjoy the aspect of, like, going in. Like, you know, when I hunted with my brother, I'm like, all right, man, you're here. See you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, all right, we're moving ahead. And then it's like, you hear a call, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to hang back 20 yards. And I could be talking out of my ass because I've never shot a turkey or anything. But just the idea of it, some people I've talked to, I'm like, man, that sounds a lot of fun. What was my biggest hang up on it for a while was it's a turkey.
Yeah. Like,
But
who gives a fuck?
but the pursuit seems awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen turkeys. I've had run-ins with turkeys, and it's exciting. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't quite do it for me.
It's a bird.
It's a bird, and I like mammals. I guess I don't know, but I think elk hunting is gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I mean, shit. You listen to fucking podcast now, and you hear about how bad it is in Colorado, dude.
Thanks, Rogan.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Did you watch that video? I was like, man, this makes me really want to go elk hunting in Colorado.
Yeah.
And you were like, send me the link. And in the video, he's like sitting there. He's like, well, I've run into 15 people. This guy, the worst bugle I've ever heard, and I have
0 elk. It was Chris B. He went elk hunting. Yeah, miserable.
I was hoping
failure.
you were watching it the whole time. Like,
I did.
I
was expecting them to have like a great hunt because Ryan was like, "This really makes me want to go elk hunting." This motherfucker had a terrible time. And I was like, "That's probably gonna be us."
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? But at the very least, like, dude, I feel like by yourself. I guess he had his cameraman, but like that sounds pretty miserable. But like if we go as like a group of guys, like if nothing else, man, that'll be cool just to go camping and you know what I mean. It'll be like Brokeback Mountain, but there'll be a bunch of us.
well, have you heard
Yeah.
Bunch of sex.
Bunch of
like,
sex.
Green
It'll be
Tree?
real intense.
Green Tree was on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about Colorado over the counter. And he was like, yeah, he's like, I've gone places where, like, you go this far before, like, you never see another soul. He's like, I'm hiking back, I'm beyond that. And I'm waking up in the morning, and there's a town 100 yards from me.
Yeah.
And then I'm moving forward, and there's a guy up on this ridge.
Yep. So
It's like, man,
that is a direct effect of probably Joe Rogan. I mean, you got to think, what has he got? 30 million viewers, and he's talking about elk hunting.
It's Joe Rogan, it's Cam Haines, it's not to be Matt Ranella here, but
yeah.
Dude, Matt Ranella.
Ugh.
I listened to a couple stuff he's been saying. Like, yikes, brother.
Yeah, actually pretty. I've listened to like clips. I think Ryan sent me, but
That's all I listen to, too.
yeah, he's got a pretty polarizing opinion. He fucking hates Cam Haines.
Yeah, he's the complete opposite of his brother.
Yeah.
Sounds just like him.
Oh yeah. I wonder how those Thanksgiving dinners go.
I think they've fallen out.
They
I
have
don't think
fallen
they
out.
talk anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, like, because what that dude, so basically Matt Ranella is like anti, like, publicizing hunting. He's like, shut the fuck up. The trailheads are crowded enough, like, stop fucking talking about it. You know what I mean? And Steven Ranella is the exact opposite. He's like, to preserve our way of life, you know what I mean? And I get both sides of the argument, I do. But, I can't imagine being in between them two. I mean, those conversations, I'm sure they fucking like had it. I've heard Matt Ranella on Steve's podcast a long time ago, and they had it out.
He's been on Meat Eater.
Yeah, on Meat Eater.
Like on the show.
That's where I listened to him on there, and I was like, he's got a point. You know what I mean? He's not wrong. I mean, do I think he's a little much? And like,
He's
like
a little extreme.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck Cam Haines. The clip I heard, he's like, fuck Cam Haines. He's a bitch. Like that. I mean, that wasn't exactly what he said.
But pretty much, he's like, these fucking...
Dudley, all these. He
yeah.
literally tallied like all. He's like, how does a man need 6 elk, a moose, 3 mule deer, 4 whitetails? I'm like, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. But at the same time, like, can you really hate him for doing it? Like, if I had the money, I'm not saying I would go that fucking hard, but I would go hunt fucking San Carlos if I could afford it. You know what I mean?
I wonder if he's saying that like people are publicizing. Like, he had a really good thing I sent you, where the guy from Ceciltucky sent that snowboarder on a hunt. I don't know if you've seen. There's got documentaries called River, but he sent this snowboarder. They got him a bow. They got him hunting. They sent him on a public land hunt. And I think he shot like a small bull. And the next year, they sent him on like a hunt that cost like $40,000, like a super expensive hunt. And their whole thing was, and Matt Ranella talks about it. He talks about how they were trying to appeal to those like Aspen snowboarders and skiers who are like, oh man, that's so cool. Like, I'll go out and I'll go shoot an elk and I'll go do this and I'll get the meat. I'll harvest the meat for my family, myself. And they're like, what Sicka's not telling people is that's a $40,000 hunt on a private reserve. So now you got all these freaking yuppies going out there and hogging the trailheads and going out there thinking that it's as easy as they make it look in the documentary.
Yeah. Well, how long can that last though? Like, those guys they're gonna give it the old college try, and they're gonna be like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, they're gonna hike a mile and turn around.
Yeah, you at least. I mean, that's what you hope. You think it would taper off because, like, to really be fanatical and like successful as a bow hunter, you got to really enjoy what you're doing. It's not like you can just like go out there and bow hunt. Like, you're not gonna have a good time.
No, I mean, I think that we're gonna see some really drastic tagging
changes.
Tagging changes. I think over the counter tags, as we might know, it might be a thing of the past moving forward.
It's probably a good idea.
Yep.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, but because I mean, how many guys can you fucking crowd into a place before it's just totally shot?
Before there's no freaking elk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for residents getting priority on like an elk tag. Like if you're an Arizona resident, you should obviously get like a priority.
Oh yeah.
Or in Colorado, getting access to some of the more secluded units.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it ad nauseum about the sick of deer tags and shit here, but I agree. I think we should get priority over.
Yeah, I think if they ever show populations dropping to where like the residents aren't able to harvest, I can definitely see.
Just don't unplug the orange. I think you did too. There you go. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Computer died.
But yeah, fucking, I agree with you. I think residents should get priority. Over
Absolutely. I don't care what state it is. Yeah. I mean, fuck, if you're local, then shit.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you like it if Sicko had a drawing and
That'd suck.
we didn't have like almost a guarantee.
Yeah. Nah,
fuck that.
Fuck
like,
that.
fuck them out-of-staters. Like, you guys can eat shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How does Iowa do it? Isn't Iowa, as an out-of-state resident, if we wanted to draw a whitetail tag, it's like one out of every 3 years, one every 4 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to get a tag in Iowa.
Yeah. And then residents...
And there's not that much public land
Really?
in Iowa. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're putting in for your tag, you want to save up some cash to get a guide.
Yeah.
Is there really not much public land in Iowa?
That's what I've read.
You think that state is just massive, that there would be a plethora of options.
I guess not. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I read that Iowa had a very small amount of public land to hunt, and that's why a lot of it. That's why part of why it's so hard to get a tag there, because they can't have a million fucking assholes with tags. If you got fucking 6 public hunting grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when I go out west to hunt, if I can do it, I'm gonna try to do a guide.
Hey, I
I know it's expensive, but I'll look at it. But like, if you're already spending $1,000 on your tag,
Yeah.
and you might only get to go every couple years, like an out-of-state tag for Colorado is over $1,000 now,
Pretty much
all
yeah.
together. It's like, man, I would want to.
Drop an extra $5, right?
Yeah, it's not like they're putting you in a
$5
tree
grand?
stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
it's
say
like 10 grand.
More than that. Good.
See, that's dude.
Yeah,
I'm not dropping 10
or,
grand
you
on
know,
my hunt.
or even mule deer guides like $5 grand.
Nah, dude. I'm not dropping 10K on a hunt.
I'll stick with whitetail.
Can't do it. I'm gonna go elk hunting, not next year, but the following.
Yeah,
But I'm not dropping 10 grand on.
my buddy
Can't afford it.
he went bear hunting in North Carolina. He said it's 100% shot chance. They take you out, and it was like $1,500.
I'd like to do. I mean,
that's not bad.
I would like to do any like large game animal. I'd love to hunt Alaska. I think that would be fucking cool.
I want a Yukon moose so bad.
Oh my god.
But that are the chances
30
you draw.
grand.
Yeah.
What are the chances you draw that tag?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, I hope I just draw a PA elk tag. I mean, if we
That-
keep applying, somebody's gonna draw one.
Yeah.
I got him on year 2.
Yeah, I'm on. This will be year 6 for me.
Hey, you're probably getting close. What does it take average? 20 years?
I think so. 10 or 20. I don't
Whatever.
think it's 20. I think it's like at 10 years you start to get pretty decent odds.
Oh, geez, elk populations, they're really growing.
Yeah, and PA for sure, and Kentucky too. We could start pulling tags there.
Yeah.
Kentucky, West Virginia doesn't have a huntable population yet, but West Virginia's got a population of elk.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee's got a population of elk.
Hope they start making their way this way.
Fuck,
I don't think it'll ever happen.
No, not in our lifetime. That's for sure. I mean, maybe Sicko. We'll see them when we're 70.
Yeah, I don't
Up
think
here.
there's a room up here for elk. It's a big animal.
Yeah, they don't have the maybe Western Maryland.
Yeah.
but
Garrett County.
yeah, but not here.
I would go out to Western Maryland every year to hunt elk.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
If you're a Pennsylvania resident, what's your chances of drawing an elk tag compared to a non-resident?
I think it's
I don't know. I think it's a little better.
I don't know. I know the success rate is up there.
Yeah, it's like 80%. Yeah, it's high.
They only give out so many tags.
Now you go
Yeah.
out. All right, you go out to Pennsylvania. You draw a Pennsylvania elk tag. You take off 2 weeks of work. You're like, this is it. I'm taking all my vacation. Morning one, a just barely 300-inch bull steps out. It's like a 5x5.
Letting her fly, dog.
Yeah,
You let me shoot?
Get some. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm shooting it. Almost 300 inches? Absolutely. That's a decent elk.
Is it a decent elk?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, 600 pounds, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
700
600-pound animal. Yeah. And a 300-inch
What if they
bull
told
elk
you
is
that the average
good enough for me.
average harvest was like a 360?
That's a huge bull.
Yeah, the bull elk in Pennsylvania are massive.
Yeah, they're Rocky Mountain elk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have a hard time passing on that.
That'd be your first elk.
Yeah,
that you'd
good
see.
enough.
Yeah,
Like,
and you'd be
what do you need?
Yep.
Don't get greedy.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that old saying: if you'd be happy with it on your last day, don't pass it on your first. So I would shoot it. Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. we could go camping and get shit faced for the next 2 weeks. All right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, knowing that thing will look great on my wall.
Yeah.
No one's gonna confuse that for a small deer.
I'm gonna shoot that thing. I'm gonna go into town, get a fucking 8-ball of some cocaine and a fucking 1,000 beers, and go back to my tent and just enjoy my 2 weeks. You know?
It would be sick.
Yeah, that would be great. But I mean, what are the odds of that? Pretty good, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty good if you get that tag.
Yeah. How long would you take? Would you take 2 weeks or just a week? I think I'd take a full 5 days vacation, so like 7 days.
I would take the entirety of archery season.
Jesus.
That's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
That's true.
I'm gonna be in there until season ends or I shoot a deer. If I take a month, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's like if I went up there, say I'd take a week, I went up there and I haven't got it done, I'd probably call my boss and be like, I'll let you know when I come back to work.
Yeah.
You know?
It's if you draw a Pennsylvania elk tag, and this is not Colorado, Pennsylvania elk tag, I'm going in there until the season ends or I get it done.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's once in every 10 years-ish.
I'm not going to be the guy that goes up to an 80% success rate place and not kill something.
Yeah,
like, I ain't letting that happen.
You can always find another job.
Yeah, exactly. I will find a new employer.
No.
Sorry, honey. It's going to be a little tight for a few months. But I got this 3x3 elk.
The taxidermy bill's $1,500.
$100, by the way, honey.
Oh,
I'm going to need you to work some overtime. No. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? You know, it's my hobby. I love this. It's my passion.
Yeah.
I tell the old lady, baby, I love you. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I'll get another job.
It's fun. It's funny. Krista was talking to me last night. This morning, actually, she's like, because she always wants to have conversations at the least opportune times.
It's a woman.
She'll just be like, so I'm like, dude, it's freaking 9:30 at night. Like, I'm
trying to go to bed.
I'm not talking about how you want to spend $5,000 to get the bathroom remodeled. Like, this is just not a conversation that's happening right now. And she's like, well, you understand, like, I can't compartmentalize stuff. She's like, if I talk about something, like, if I don't talk about it right then and there, like, I'll be tossing and turning all night. And she's like, it's easy for you to talk later when you're just laying in bed just thinking about deer in a field. And I'm like,
she's
not
wrong.
wrong. I'm sitting there, people counting sheep, I'm counting deer.
Fucking women love to do that, right? When you're trying to saw logs.
Yeah. That's the time they want to have that conversation. Because they can't compartmentalize. There's a book on it. Have you guys ever heard of Women Like Spaghetti, Men Are Like Waffles? Because the waffles have compartments. We can compartmentalize shit. That's how our brains work. Like, okay, I'll put this off. I'm going to bed. And I'll deal with it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Women, their brains are like spaghetti. It all just runs together. It's just they can't. They don't have that ability, I guess, to. We just think differently.
Yeah,
you know
I have
what
the ability. I'm like, no, I'll deal with this tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've explained to Sam, like, I feel like she just has thoughts running through her brain, and all of a sudden she'll just reach up and grab one. Yeah. And that's what she wants to talk about.
That's funny.
Whatever she grabs, that's what it is. I'm like, God damn it, what the fuck?
It's like, I'm sorry. Why are we talking about me looking at your sister's ass from 3 years ago? Like, the fuck?
These fucking thoughts are going just like a million miles an hour, and she just grabs one.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
So, I don't know if I would want to be inside a woman's brain for a day. No. I want to, just out of curiosity. You know what I mean? Do you think chicks like ever look at a dude and like, I'd fucking ride the cock off of that motherfucker?
I think they do, but differently. Like,
how so?
Probably in a more like.
He looks like a passionate lover.
He's like a good provider.
I bet I'd feel small in his arms.
If you're a woman out there, let us know.
Yeah, that is a good point because I feel like they don't.
I agree with you. I think they like check dudes out maybe, but not like as like we do.
Like toys.
I bet, I bet he's a loving father.
Yeah. Oh, he looks like a good dad. That's so attractive. You know what I mean? Like they'll see like you do something like that, and they're like, that's a man there. You know what I mean? As to we're just like, I wonder what that fucking roast beef sandwich looks like.
We've compartmentalized it to body parts.
Well, I've never looked at a woman and been like, bet she's a great mom.
No, never. Never.
I look at a woman, I'm like, I'd love to see if she'll be a great mom.
I'd love to make her a mom.
And then never talk to her again.
It's worth the child support. We're just pieces of shit.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's the way nature made us. That's it.
On that note, you boys got anything else?
I got nothing.
We're gonna
Deer
go
drive
drink.
was a waste of time.
It was fun though.
It was
I had
fun.
fun. I'm glad we tried.
I had a blast.
Yeah. For the listeners, a brief recap. We seen 2 deer. Got really wet.
We saw 2 deer, neither of them during the drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither of the deer were driven.
Yeah. It was
just
just
walked
like,
up on
hi, there's a deer. So
Yeah, but I had a great time, even with the weather. That was fun.
that's cool. We should do more. We should do at least one a year.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite hunts all year.
Yeah. It
Just
was
a
cool.
blast.
I can't believe we didn't see any deer
see that.
pushed.
I would have swore if you could have put a gun to my head and said you're going to not see any deer in this deer drive, or will you see one? Which one is it? If you get the wrong answer, I'm shooting you in the head. I'd say, oh, we're going to see deer.
Yeah. Dead.
I'd have been dead. Yeah.
Man, those bedding areas we pushed.
There's always deer there.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, does it rain and they just go in somebody's fucking garage? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Where are you?
I think we just walked past them. Mm-hmm. I think the weather was so bad and it was so cold that they just hunkered down.
Yeah.
You got to walk right on them, kick them in the ass from the move.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
what
you
I
walked right up on the one.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
15 yards from me.
No, literally. Yeah. And the one was pretty close to you too, huh?
25 yards,
Walked
30
up
yards.
on you.
Yeah. How many times have you done that? Walked up on a deer at 25 yards.
Yeah.
Very rare. Especially not even trying to be like sneaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I probably walked through that bedding area and they were all like on my left, like looking at me like, look at this fucking poser.
It is. It's fucking raining. Get out of here.
Clown.
Nice
I'm like,
second.
get out of here, deer. They're like,
They're,
no.
they're like, I would rather get shot than go out in this.
Yeah, like, what the fuck's wrong with these people? Idiots.
Yeah,
It was worth a shot.
it was.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate the love. We love to hear from you. So
Even
will
the haters.
Yeah, even especially the haters.
I love the haters.
John, don't let that dude have it, you cuck. We'll see y'all next week. Keep coming back.